Hey, little children, don't you disappear. Da, 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 da. I lost my heart under the bridge. That blue-eyed girl, so much to lose, and now I'm alone, and now I holler. She'll never know just what I found. Little fish, big fish, swimming in the water. Come back here and give me my daughter. Little fish, big fish, swimming in the water. Come back here. It's late. It's really early. It's really late. I just. Oh God! I just knew I had to. I knew I had to go live when I just woke up. It's early. It's late. Who knows what the heck it is? CRS. Cash register secrets. Do, 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 do. I'm not going to do this too long because it would behoove me to go back to sleep. But yeah, I'm going to do a lot of driving tomorrow. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh." The Lord said to Moses, "Go to the king and tell him that the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says, 'Let my people go so that they may worship me.'" And the Lord told Moses, "Go to Pharaoh and say to him, 'This is the Lord God of the Hebrews.'" This is what the Lord God of the Hebrews says, "Let my people go so they may serve me." Moses is considered the most important prophet in Judaism and is one of the most important prophets in Christianity, Islam, the Druze faith, the Baha'i faith, and the Abrahamic religions. Moses.
Dictionary entries near Moses.
Masculine
Proper name. Name of the Hebrew prophet and lawgiver. Middle English Moses. From Latin. From Greek Mouses. From Hebrew Moses. Which is of unknown origin. Most scholars see in it the Hebraization of Egyptian MES. Son, which is often used in Theophorus names. According to this derivation, the words of Pharaoh's daughter in Exodus 2 verse 10, for out of the water I drew him, are not the explanation of the Hebrew name Moshe, but express the idea that the Egyptian name given by Pharaoh's daughter resembles in sound, and therefore reminds us of the Hebrew verb masha he drew out, which is suggestive of the words spoken by Pharaoh's daughter.
Hebrew verb
Ernest Klein, a comprehensive etymological dictionary of the
which is
English language.
suggestive of the words spoken by Pharaoh's daughter.
Or
Comprehensive
Moses,
etymological
1840.
dictionary of
Holy
English
Moses is
language.
attested by
As in-
1877.
As an
Entries linking to
expletive
Moses.
or oath.
Mosaic,
Moses,
ADJ.
1840. Holy Moses is attested
Pertaining to Moses,
1877.
1660s. Earlier Messicle, 1560s.
Messicle.
From modern Latin Mosaicus. From late Latin Moses,
Mosaicus.
see Moses.
See Moses.
Share Moses.
Share Moses.
Site.
See Moses. Share Moses.
Advertisement.
See Moses. Share Moses. Let my people go, Pharaoh. Let my people go, Pharaoh. Let my people go. It's over. Your time is up. It's past due. Let them go from the bondage of what? Bondage of stocks and bonds and debt or death and extortion. Extortion you're doing. You're committing high crimes. You're taking money, which is mother, and you're claiming it's yours. It's not. You give it back now, and you let my people go. You're an extortionist, Pharaoh. Well, an extortionist is one who extorts something from another or makes an extortionate demand or charge. IRS, mafia, military industrial juggernaut of insanity, murderers, butchers, killers, slave masters, owners. You're done. Down on your knees, and my people go, get down on your knees and beg for forgiveness for the crime you committed. The horror you've created with your chaos sorcery. It's over. You're done. What is extortion? It's a noun meaning the act of extorting, the act of wresting anything from a person by force, duress, menace, authority, or any undue exercise of power, oppressive or illegal exaction. 1300, from Latin, extortium, nominative extortio, or twisting out, extorted, noun of action from past participle stem of extorcere, wrench out, wrest away, to obtain by force. Pharaoh, you wicked, maleficent, evil wizard. Your magic shan't work anymore. Your magic is nullified. It's over. It's been seen what you have done. You have been seen. Down on your knees, beg for forgiveness. Now let my people go, Pharaoh, or suffer the consequences from mother. You understand, you know what I'm talking about. Comes from, it's X, which means to go out, plus torquere, torque, to twist, from Aryan root, turque, to twist. I know what you've done. I know what you've done. You bankrolled and seeded National Socialism. You did that. In order to stay in power, Pharaoh,
Sick, sick creep. You shall give us, you give us Woodstock 3. You will not stand in the way of that. You will not stand in the way of a tidal wave of love, which ends your wars, your profiteering from killing, you murderer, you butcher. Let my people go now. TRKW, Aryan. Indo-European is Aryan. That's what it means. You're done twisting words and their meaning and mind raping my people and raping them materially, extorting them, shaking them down every year like Whitey Bulger did. Demanding a payment so that you don't come huff and puff and blow their house down. You wicked, maleficent, evil murderers. You have been seen, and you will be judged. You will be judged by my people. You will be held accountable for your crimes. You understand? All of them. The millions of murders of you and your bloodline. Evil bloodline. Ugh. All of the words that come from this Indo-European or Aryan root are contort, distort, extort, extortion, mastertium, queer, retort, thwart, torch, torment, torque, tormentors, evil tormentors. I know you are creating this chaos today. You've been creating it all along. Now the message read, let's bring it to its final end. The message says, let's bring it to its final end now. Thwart, torch, torment, torque. Noun, rotating force, torsion, tortuous, tortuous, torture. You are torturers. You are butchers and torturers. That's all you are. That's all you've ever been. Your claim to power is entirely false. You have no power whatsoever. Let my people go now. Admit your law is fake. Your 10 commandments, your whole system, your whole bullshit code. It's over. There's but one law. There's one law. Help and don't harm. That's it. If you harm, you reap the consequences from Mother God. Mother, Father, God. You voluntarily choose right or wrong behavior. If you choose wrong behavior, Mother, Father, God judges you, not man. And man does not make law. Man, there are no legislators. Man does not make law. Man either obeys law or pays the consequences from nature, which is Mother, God, Father. Mother, all one. Your fraud and deception hereby end. You let my people go. You wicked owners. You don't own anything. You don't own anything. It's always been a false claim. It's always been illegitimate. It is the hypothetical source of evidence, and 2 plus 2 is 4, not 5. Truth is truth. Freedom is freedom. Knowledge is power. Not ignorance is not power. Ignorance is not bliss. Sitting in front of that. Wow. Well, everything is being destroyed. Well, everything's being toxified by their evil geoengineering that they're covering up. Poisoning the entirety of this land. It's aluminum, manganese, lead, strontium, barium, with all of the nuclear fallout from all of that nuclear testing. You shall get down on your knees and beg for forgiveness now and let my people go. Not forgiveness from me or for anyone else, but from Mother God Father, who is law herself, itself. So yeah, my people, here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. When you worry, you make your trouble double, and the intent and the conjuring of the end of the evil empire hereby is declared. You are free. Stare down your masters. Instead of punching the clock, why don't you punch your boss? Not literally, but figuratively. Give him her a big punch in the face, because they're not your boss. There are no bosses here. You are in the command position. You make the choice. So if you keep making the choice to serve them, well, you're on the wrong side of history and you're on the wrong side of where we're going, which is freedom, liberation. Evidence for its existence. Hypothetical source. Hypothetical? Who are you, cutting linguists? Huh? Where do you get off to? You work for them. You don't level with people. You're not square and forthright. No, you're playing evil word games, mind games. Keep on playing those mind games together. It is the hypothetical source of the evidence for its existence as provided by Sanskrit. See, Sanskrit, that's where this all goes to. Turka, which means spindle. Spindle. Latin, torcere, to twist, Old Church Slavonic. Traka, band, girdle. You will give that gold back. You will get off that mountain of gold, Pope. You will give it to my people and to Mother Earth where it belongs, you thief. All of the whole lineage of popes are thieves, bandits, who put on a fake front, a fake face for the people, to make sure that they stay in bondage forever. It's over. Your crimes have been seen. Latin, torquere, to twist, Old Church Slavonic, traka, band, spindle, Old High German, grassi, Turner, Ted Turner, evil. Evil what you have done and what you do. Hoarding mother, money, mommy, hoarding that and ensuring the suffering and the impoverishment of millions. You evil creeps. All of you who hold billions while Earth is you murdering Mother Earth, you creeps. And my people know, and my people are free. They're not your slaves. They never were. Stand up, my people. Stand up and walk away. Walk away now. This is Exodus time. Movement of Jah people. You are the children of God. Do you understand? You're the ones with the power, not Pharaoh. Not these monster owners. All of them. Who put so much into projecting an image that is sweet, that looks good, to convince you that they're good. They're not. They hoard wealth. They're hoarders. They hoard mother. Money is mother, mummy. Why do you think the dollars are green? And why do you think there's vegetative symbols all over them? And owls and eagles. Those are all signs of mother, matter, nature, and her fecundity, her fertility, and her goodness, and her growth. And they control, these freaks have been manipulating you into thinking you need them. You don't need them. We don't. They are the reason Earth is dying, being murdered. They're the reason we're in hell right now. All this shitstorm going on, this chaos, because they invoke it. They call it forth with their evil sorcery, and they keep us in bondage. Bonds, stocks, and you're done. As of now, you all are done. To turn on a lathe, German Dressel, to turn on a lathe, Old Norse. Vert, across, Old English. Poor, transverse, perverse, angry, cross, Gothic. Puers, angry. Let's look up angry after this. Bribe, late 14C, to pilfer, steal, take dishonestly, also practice extortion, IRS, government, you are extortionists, you're criminals, you're a mafia, you always have been. With your clown courts, where no justice is served whatsoever, where you ensure that the money masters, these creepos of the evil empire, remain perched atop us. They're not enlightened, they're not Illuminati, they're darkness itself, which is evil, wickedness, maleficence, they're full of contempt for all of us. Do you understand that? My people, they are full of contempt for you. They hate you, they hate me. Late 14C, to pilfer, steal, take dishonestly. That's what taxation is. Not taxation without representation, just taxation itself. It's extortion, just like Whitey Bulger or any mafioso does. Going into convenience stores and telling the owners, pay me off or I'll burn your building down. Your business will be over. That's what government is. They shake you down every year and steal not your wealth, but mother's wealth, mother's money. It belongs to her. Let's give it back. Let's get it back together. Let's do Woodstock 3. Let's generate a love wave. Let's only allow in those who are willing to participate in the Sanskrit meditation, prayer, chanting, love wave generation. Only songs that generate love, popular music, rock and roll, world music, all love generating, not aggressive, not Travis Scott, not their chaos sorcery. That ends now. Okay? It's over. Just invoked it, it's done. That's the invocation. The magic voice box that you have too. Use it. Say what you want. Love and peace and joy. Freedom. Say it over and over and over again. Use it. Do Sanskrit chanting. I'll do a little bit before I go. Bribe, late 14C, to pilfer, steal, take dishonestly. The same as extortion. Go begging from bribe, a gift. See bribe, meaning gain or corrupt by a bribe. It's from 1520, related bribe, bribing. Focus your intent on this name. Alan Jerry, my people. Alan Jerry. Focus on that name. Say it in your mind over and over again. Alan Jerry, and say it out loud. Alan Jerry. Alan Jerry. Alan Jerry. Alan Jerry. Alan Jerry. Just keep saying it. He's the one who owns Woodstock, and he's the one who's blocking this love wave. Say his name over and over and over again. Make it so that he cannot think a thought. He cannot rest until he does the right thing. Do it. Alan Jerry, Alan Jerry, Alan Jerry. Make his brain ring. Make him groan, unable to think a thought. Do it now, Alan Jerry, Alan Jerry, Alan Jerry. Just keep on saying it. Look him up, read about him, learn about him. Owns Woodstock. Why did he buy it? Ask yourself. meaning gained or corrupt by a bribe, is from 1520s, related bribed and bribing. He's one of the billionaires, Alan Jerry. Alan Jerry, you're part of the big club. Alan Jerry. Alan Jerry, you're part of the big club. You're part of this criminal cabal that hires wicked sorcery, uses evil sorcery, invokes murder, invokes chaos. This is all by design, ladies and gentlemen. All of this shit we see going on right now. It's being artificially created, has no reason for existing other than to keep these creeps in power over us, dominating us, manipulating us, extorting us. Please join me in this chanting for peace now. Om Santir Santir Tarik Santi Prithvi Santirapa Santirosh Adaya Santi Vanaspataya Santi Santir Vedvedeva Santir Brahma Santi. May peace radiate in the entire sky, as well as in the vast ethereal space everywhere. May peace reign over all this earth, in water and in all herbs, trees, and creepers. May peace flow over the whole universe. Om Dayu Santirantariksam Santi Prithvi Santirapa Santiroshadaya Santi Yavana Sapataya Santir Vedeva Santi Brahma Santi. May peace radiate in the entire sky, as well as in the vast ethereal space everywhere. May peace reign all over this earth, in water and in all herbs, trees, and creepers. May peace flow over the whole universe. RFK and the wind of apartheid and ripple of hope. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Hunter College, New York City, Human Rights Day, December 10th, 1965. Africa has been depicted for more than a century as the home of black cannibals and ignorant primitives. Despite volumes of facts controverting this picture, the stereotype persists in books, motion pictures, and other media of communication. Evil sorcery, Pharaoh, evil you are. Wicked, Pope. You're nobody's papa. You're nobody's papa. What you do is evil and hypocritical. Woe unto you, Pharisee, hypocrite, liar, sitting on a mountain of gold, while man declines all around. You are an evil thing. You are grotesque, abominable, abysmal. You do not serve Christ. All you do is talk. You don't walk it at all. If you did, you'd give that away, and you'd do the right thing, and you'd never do the right thing. Get down on your knees now and beg for mercy from my people who are legion. You are nothing. Pope, Rome, the Vatican, evil. It's a bank. It's a nest of vipers. Africa does not have spectacular savages and brutes today, but they are not black. They are the sophisticated white rulers of South Africa who profess to be cultured, religious, civilized, but whose conduct and philosophy stamp them unmistakably as modern-day barbarians. We are in an era in which the issue of human rights is the central question confronting all nations. In this complex struggle, an obvious but little appreciated fact has gained attention. The large majority of the human race is non-white, yet it is that large majority which lives in hideous poverty, while millions enjoy an unexampled opulence in developed nations. 10,000 people die of hunger each and every day of the year in the undeveloped world. To assert white supremacy, to invoke white economic and military power, to maintain the status quo, is to foster the danger of international race war. What does the South African government contribute to this tense situation? These are the incendiary words of the South African philosophy spoken by its Prime Minister, Dr. Verwoerd. Quote, we want to keep South Africa white. Keep it white can only mean one thing, namely white domination, not leadership, not guidance, but control, supremacy. The South African government, to make the white supreme, has had to reach into the past and revive the nightmarish ideology and practices of Nazism, National Socialism. We are witnessing a recrudescence of the barbarism which murdered more humans than any war in history. In South Africa today, all opposition to white supremacy is condemned as communism, and in its name, due process is destroyed. And medieval segregation is organized with 20th century efficiency and drive. A sophisticated form of slavery is imposed by a minority upon a majority, which is kept in grinding poverty. The dignity of human personality is defiled, and world opinion is arrogantly defied. Once more, we read of tortures in jails with electrical devices, suicides among prisoners, forced confessions, while on the outside community, ruthless persecution of editors, religious leaders, and political opponents suppress free speech and the free press. South Africa says to the world, we have become a powerful industrial economy. We are too strong to be defeated by paper resolutions of world tribunals. We are immune to protest and to economic reprisals. We are invulnerable to opposition from within or without. If our evil offends you, you will have to learn to live with it, they say. Increasingly in recent months, this conclusion, and this goes for any kind of supremacy now, here in 2022. White, black, whatever it is. We're not white and black. None of us. Look closely. Do you see white and black? No, you don't. You see lighter and darker shades of the flesh of fruit. But that's all it is. Underneath it comes out red. Ketchup, we're all red. We're all one human family. And we're being oppressed by one tiny cabal, clique of criminals on a cosmic scale. Their laws are criminal. There's only law. There's only truth. There's only light. Truth is singular. Its versions are mistruths. Increasingly in recent months, this conclusion has been echoed by sober commentators of other countries who disapprove but nevertheless assert that there can be no remedy against this formidable adversary of human rights. Do we too acknowledge defeat? Have we tried everything and failed? In examining this question as Americans, we are immediately struck by the fact that the United States moved with strikingly different energy when it reached a dubious conclusion that our interests were threatened in the Dominican Republic. We inundated that small nation with overwhelming force, shocking the world with our zealousness and naked power. With respect to South Africa, however, our protest is so muted and peripheral, it merely mildly disturbs the sensibilities of the segregationists, while our trade and investments substantially stimulate their economy to greater heights. We pat them on the wrist in permitting racially mixed receptions in our embassy and by exhibiting films depicting Negro artists, but we give them massive support through American investments. This is Martin Luther King. But we give them massive support through American investments in motor and rubber industries. By extending some $40 million in loans through our most distinguished banking and financial institutions, by purchasing gold and other minerals mined by black slave labor, by giving them a sugar quota, by maintaining three tracking stations there, and by providing them with the prestige of a nuclear reactor built with our technical cooperation and fueled with refined uranium supplied by us. Where it is realized that Great Britain, France, and other democratic powers also prop up the economy of South Africa, and when to all of this is added the fact that the USSR has indicated its willingness to participate in a boycott, it is proper to wonder how South Africa can so confidently defy the civilized world. The conclusion is inescapable that it is less sure of its own power, but more sure that the great nations will not sacrifice trade and profit to oppose them effectively. The shame of our nation is that it is objectively an ally in this monstrous government in its grim war with its own black people. Our default is all the more grievous because one of the blackest pages of our history was our participation in the infamous African slave trade of the 18th century. The rape of Africa was conducted substantially for our benefit to facilitate the growth of our nation and to enhance its commerce. There are few parallels in human history of the period in which Africans were seized and branded like animals, packed into ship holds like cargo, and transported into chattel slavery. Millions suffered agonizing death in the Middle Passage in the Holocaust, reminiscent of the Nazi slaughter of Jews and Poles and others. We have an obligation of atonement that is not canceled by the passage of time. Indeed, the slave trade in one sense was more understandable than our contemporary policy. There was less sense of humanity in the world 300 years ago. The slave trade was widely approved by the major powers of the world. The economies of England, Spain, and the US rested heavily on the profits derived from it. Today, in our opulent society, our reliance on trade with South Africa is infinitesimal significance. No real national interest impels us to be cautious, gentle, or a good customer of a nation that offends the world's conscience. China. Chain to China, to Saudi Arabia, criminal states, Israel, and this is we're the good guys. The only nation that's committed the human rights, the huge crime of dropping nuclear arms on innocent civilians, killing them, innocence. This creepy cabal of billionaires has destroyed innocence, endlessly sacrificed and slaughtered the lambs. Stop being silent, lambs. Stop now. Speak up. I hereby invoke First Amendment right to freedom of speech. This is an invocation, a reassertion of the First Amendment right of freedom of speech and assembly, the most important one of the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments. Hereby invoked. Power to the people right now, where it belongs. Not in your hands, Pharaoh. Let my people go now. Stop enslaving them with your debt. your dead debt, your fiat. No real national interest impels us to be cautious, gentle, or a good customer of a nation that offends the world conscience. Have we the power to be more than peevish with South Africa, but yet refrain from acts of war? To list the extensive economic relations of the great powers with South Africa is to suggest a potent, nonviolent path. A potent, nonviolent path. We end the cabal's reign of terror without lifting a finger, by invoking the First Amendment right to freedom of speech and assembly and using it, coming together right now, over me, for peace, love, end of this wars, all these wars. The international potential of nonviolence has never been employed. The international potential of nonviolence has never been employed. And now it shall be, it is employed, hereby, going forth. Nonviolence has been practiced within national borders in India, the US, and regions of Africa with spectacular success. The time has come to utilize nonviolence fully through a massive international boycott, which would involve the USSR, Great Britain, France, the United States, Germany, and Japan. Millions of people can personally give expression to their abhorrence of the world's worst racism through such a far-flung boycott. No nation professing a concern for man's dignity could avoid assuming its obligations if people of all states and races were to adopt a firm stand. I have a dream. 2. Nor need we confine an international boycott to South Africa. The time has come for an international alliance of peoples of all nations against racism. Any kind of racism. Black people hating white people, or any darker skinned people hating lighter skinned people and blaming them instead of this evil little tiny clique, which includes black people, is wrong. And that's racist too. Hating me because of the color of my skin, that's also racist. Understand that. There's only one race here, and it's the red race. We all bleed red. We're the red race. Adam from the red earth. Just different shades on the outside, illusory, covering a shell. We're all red. We're painted red to fit right in. Whoa. I am radioactive, you bet your ass I am. Pharaoh, Pope, Babylon, DC, disease. You're a disease and a plague. Your reign of terror is over now. For the American Negro, there is a special relationship with Africa. It is the land of his origin, or her origin, Martin. It was despoiled by invaders. Its culture was arrested and canceled to justify what's called white supremacy. But it's truly what's the supremacy here? I'm called white, but I don't have economic or material supremacy in this world, do I? I don't call for the supremacy of people of lighter flesh or the people of darker flesh. If you're calling for the supremacy of people of darker fruit flesh, which again I say is illusory, an illusory special effect. Strip it away, it's all blood underneath. Same blood. The American Negro's ancestors were not only driven into slavery, but their links with their past were severed so that their servitude might be psychological as well as physical. In this period when the American Negro is giving moral leadership and inspiration to his own nation, he must find the resources to aid his suffering brothers in his ancestral homeland. Nor is this aid a one-way street. The civil rights movement in the United States has derived immense inspiration from the successful struggles of those Africans who have attained freedom in their own nations. The fact that black men govern states, are building democratic institutions, sit in world tribunals, and participate in global decision-making gives every Negro a needed sense of dignity, says Martin Luther King. And again, just to reiterate, this speech is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Hunter College, New York City, Human Rights Day, December 10th, 1965. 3 years later, what happened to him? When he opposed the Vietnam War, the war that Kennedy wanted to stop. Both Kennedys. Look what happened to both of them. Look what happened to Martin Luther King. Wake the hell up, right, people? Wake up and get up, scrub your eyes, you face reality now, or we're going extinct. Stare down your masters, these criminal creeps who are oppressing you forever, endlessly shaking you down, keeping you on the clock, on the wheel, on the time track of slavery, mental slavery and physical slavery. Get your time back. It's yours, not theirs. It's our time. We've been hearing billionaire, hoarder, dragon, Elon Musk talking about we have a problem coming, right? We have a big problem. Well, this is it. This is their problem. The people are their problem. Always have been. People power is a problem to these creeps because it means the end of their tyrannical rule, and their control. They're control fetishists and chaos sorcerers. They invoke evil, they invoke chaos to control and manipulate us, to keep us in fear, to keep us as the scarecrow, the cowardly lion, and the tin woodsman, without any brains, without any heart, without any courage. Is that what you want to be for your whole life? I think you do, my people. Invoke your emancipation now. Call it forth. Even more inspiring is the fact that in South Africa itself, in this effort, the American Negro will not be alone. As this meeting testifies, there are many white people, so-called black, so-called white. That stops now. We're not black, we're not white, we're red. We will not be divided by the artificial external difference in skin tone any longer. We are not divided by that any longer, not divided by the artificial difference of skin shade, skin tone. There is no white, there is no red, there's no red, white, there's no black, there's only red. In this effort, the American Negro will not be alone. As this meeting testifies, there are many white people who know that liberty is indivisible. Even more inspiring is the fact that in South Africa itself, incredibly brave white people are risking their careers, their homes, their lives in the cause of human justice. Nor is this a plea for Negroes to fight on two fronts. The struggle for freedom forms one long front, crossing oceans and mountains. The brotherhood of man is not confined within a narrow, limited circle of select people. It is felt everywhere in the world. It is an international sentiment of surpassing strength, because this is true. When men of goodwill finally unite, they will be invincible. The billionaire cabal is a tiny group of power-mad control freaks. We, the people, are legion. They are terrified of us. They're running scared. It's time to end it forever. Let my people go, Pharaoh. Through recent anthropological discoveries, science has substantially established that the cradle of humanity is Africa. The earliest creatures who passed the divide between animal and man seem to have first emerged in East and South Africa. Professor Raymond Dart described this historical epoch as the movement when man, quote, trembled on the brink of humanity, unquote. A million years later, in the same place, some men of South Africa are again trembling on the brink of humanity. But instead of advancing from pre-human to human, they are reversing the process and are traveling backward in time from human to pre-human, like today. Traveling backward from pre-humane, human is humane, caring, to from human, humane to pre-humane. We're devolving, not evolving. Look around. People with their heads buried up their smartphones while Mother Earth's being murdered. While we're being enslaved by an evil cabal of Kabbalists, dark occultists, wicked men and women, and their phony fronts, politicians, masks. Civilization has come a long way. It still has far to go, and it cannot afford to be set back by resolute, wicked men. Negroes were dispersed over thousands of miles and over many continents, but today they have found each other again. Negro and white have been separated for centuries by evil men and evil myths. They have found each other. The powerful unity of Negro with Negro and white with Negro is stronger than the most potent and entrenched racism. The whole human race will benefit when it ends the abomination that has diminished the stature of man for too long. This is the task to which we are called by the suffering in South Africa, and our response should be swift and unstinting. Out of this struggle will come the glorious reality of the family of man. Namaste.